Unconditional love. Unconditional love, as the word says for itself, it's love without any conditions, without any expectations, without any desire, any possessions, without wanting anything in return. And have been some years that I really started to experience what it is to feel this unconditional love. I started to prove that feeling for some other persons. And for me, it was like a scream of freedom, because when you love someone or something, because it can be like humans, plants, animals, but in this reflection I'm talking about humans, okay? So when you love someone without expecting anything in return, you are just like free to feel that feeling and to nurture that feeling for someone, and you're like free to love. And when you love in this unconditional way, it's the point of this unconditional love. It's knowing how to separate your feelings and your actions. So you give this love for a person, sometimes in forms of actions, but the other counterpart doesn't want to receive your love. And this happens lots of times. And when the other counterpart doesn't want to receive the love that you want to give, as you love in an unconditional way, of course that your love is not going to change. Your feeling is not going to change. But your actions will, because you also respect that person. And if that person doesn't want to receive your love, like your love actions, you're not going to be keeping pushing it to this love. Like, I want to give you, I want to say like words and do actions and whatever to show my love for you. So unconditional love for me is like a more general feeling. It's like a river flowing, and you just let it flow. Let it flow to wherever it wants to go as a feeling. But as an action, we choose the course of the river. We choose to, if we are going to put rocks to change the path of the river. For example, in toxic relationships, there is someone that loves the other person in an unconditional way, and there is the other person that it's all the time like hurting and saying words and doing actions to put that person down, like in an unrespectful way, in a hurtful way. And I don't see a point that the person that loves in a conditional way keep acting to allow these kind of actions from the other counterpart, if that actions are disrespectful. So we love in an unconditional way, but of course that we need to set our boundaries. So I love you and you don't love me back. Of course I'm going to keep loving you, but I don't need to put my actions, my thoughts, my energy towards you if all the time that I do that, you hurt me back. Doesn't make any sense. Like, why I'm going to be here trying to give love to someone that wants to hurt me, to disrespect me, to put me down? So I think it's really important for us to separate, as I said, the feelings and the actions, and knowing when to put our own limits, when to set our own boundaries, you know. And of course, this unconditional love, as is a feeling that is so free, it will keep. You're not losing it. Like, oh, I love this person in an unconditional way, and that person doesn't love me back, I'm going to lose that feeling. No, because it's inside you. It's something that is already part of your soul. It's already part of your spirit. It's integrated in you already. And you're not going to lose that. And it will be beautiful when you have this encounter where you nurture unconditional love for someone, and that someone nurture unconditional love for you back. That is like the most beautiful encounter of people for me. Like twin flames. But not twin flames, because this can happen also with friendship or people that you consider as your family. Like, I nurture a lot of this unconditional love with my daughter, for example. She's a teacher for me of that kind of love. And so when we love without any conditions, and we encounter someone that is loving you back also without any conditions, then you have this beautiful relationship like coming into life. And that is the beautiful thing, because when you love someone and you don't want to possess that person, and you're not obligating, but asking for something in return, like exchange coin, you know, exchange energy, like I'm just going to love you if you love me back. This is not unconditional love. This is like a rational way of thinking and feeling. And I think that we as humans, we can achieve this high level of consciousness where we love everybody in an unconditional way. But as I said, loving everybody, like every human in this world, in an unconditional way, doesn't mean that I need to have loving actions towards everything in this world, because it's impossible. So unconditional love is something that we can choose. It's a feeling that is just like born, just raised inside us, just come as life, like life come to us, but we can't change that. We're just like living and breathing. So I think like we live, we breathe, and we experience unconditional love in the same way. Like we can't change that feeling because it's unconditional, but we can change our actions. So our actions, it's more in a rational way. So of course you can choose who you want to put your loving energy, who you want to give your loving energy, your loving actions, your loving thoughts. And for me, that is the point, because I see lots of people suffering because they said, oh, I have this unconditional love for someone. I want to give this loving energy to that person doesn't want to receive. And this is perfectly okay, because it's that person's boundaries as well. No one, like, we are not obliged to receive love from everybody, loving actions, loving words, loving thoughts, or whatever. thoughts we can we can like forbid someone to have thoughts, but actions, yeah, we can set boundaries, we can set limits. So if that person doesn't love you back and doesn't want to receive your love, of course that we need to respect and say, okay, you don't want to receive my love actions, and that's perfectly fine. I'm not going to give you more loving actions. I'm going to give these loving actions to someone else. And of course, we are talking about that the first person that we need to give loving actions is ourselves. This is like number one. But also we know that we are not alone in this world, and it's really good to give love to people that is not only us, like outside love, because we know the feeling, the pleasurable feeling of receiving outside love. It's really good to give, and it's really good to receive outside love, despite our self-love, because our self-love, we know that is the number one love. And so when we experience this outside exchange of love, we also need to be aware that persons is not everyone that wants to receive, and it's not everyone who wants to give, and we need to respect that and keep the love flowing. Like, don't block the love, because some people, they prove unconditional love and they doesn't know how to alchemize that feeling inside, because you prove unconditional love for someone and that other one really hurts you back, doesn't love you back, and doesn't want to receive your love, and then you see yourself blocking the unconditional love because of one person. And this is so wrong. Like, unconditional love is general. It's like a feeling like love is in the air, you know? It's a feeling that is just like in the air. So it's, as I said, it's like a river. When it's flowing and comes into a rock, he changed the course, but he never stopped. So as unconditional love, you can keep loving it, and then you see a blockage, you don't stop loving. You just keep flowing with this love to take another way. Take another flux. Put the energy in something else, someone else. And of course you arrive into a place where you can, as the river, it arrives the time that it encounters with the sea and the merge. Also, the unconditional love is the time. It arrives the time that the river meets the sea. That is another person's unconditional love. And they just merge and feel this deep, high, spiritual, every beautiful words together in a love. So don't quit. Don't stop the flux. Don't get disencouraged by someone else's actions. Keep loving it. Okay? Keep the flow. Mwah.